What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Legendary Showcase. Today we're taking a look at the Acari set for the Pyro, and this is one of the more universally accepted sets in the game. It really amplifies your anomaly power based on a combination of heat waves that you can land, and it really ramps it up, so you can honestly use this to build anomaly around almost any ability in the game. The Acari set is very, very strong. You can build around Eruption, you can build around Heatwave, you can build around any sort of combination because it does amplify your anomaly in such a way. So those that are curious about what the set looks like, I'll leave an image on your screen right now so you can see what the entire 5-piece looks like. As for the skill tree, I kind of do a half bottom, half middle, where I route down to get additional anomaly power and burn. Going up through the middle there, up towards middle, we get an additional damage to weaker enemies. We couple out with a few pieces of anomaly, burn, upgrade to damage burn, and ultimately some damage piercing from the resistance piercing and armor piercing as well, and that is the skill tree that I use. Keeping in mind that this is basically a template to work with, this is because I am using Heatwave as my primary. If I was focusing around either Thermal Bomb or maybe even working on an Eruption build, I would probably stay more predominantly down bottom tree towards Tempest and not so much detour towards Firestorm. But again, work with what you have and build how you want. So I want to break down what the Acari set actually does. So for 3 pieces of this equipped, you are granted every enemy damaged by Heatwave grants 50% anomaly power bonus for 10 seconds. And with the cooldowns that you can generate, this is going to realistically be permanent uptime on your burst from anomalies. So you want to hit as many targets as you can with that Heatwave. Now, the most essential pieces are the helmet, the chest, and the pants. For no matter what sort of variant you're going for, the additional health from the boots and in general the gloves are not going to really do it for you, so those are your kind of flexible pieces. I definitely recommend people to look into the Death Shield. The Fortress perk receives up to 43% damage bonus based on your armor. As it currently stands, your armor is going to give you enough damage and survivability that you are going to be able to keep that 43% up permanently. So as long as this gun is on, not only do your bullets hit harder, but so do your anomaly abilities, your heat wave, and any source of damage that you put out. Shadow Comet is absolutely a must-have for when you have cooldown issues or you're just trying to burst enemies down to proc a thermal bomb or just need to hit somebody across the map, which you normally wouldn't be able to do with something like a heat wave. So Death Shield is what I recommend. I'm also using the Funeral Pyre, but those I kind of like are interchanged. I put Fortress on the Funeral Pyre, which naturally comes with a Shadow Comet, and I just bounce those back and forth. Do you need to do that? Absolutely not. Does it speed the run up though? Yes, it does. So for my current build, keeping in mind that this would be built entirely different if I was going for an Eruption build or any other type of variant, but for an exclusively focused Heatwave build, this is what I use, and this is a great way to start until you get those pieces for the other ones and the other tier 3 mods that you would need for Eruption or, you know, Phaser or something like that. So anomaly, status power, cooldown are the 3 most essential parts to this build. Skills life leech isn't bad, especially with survivability, and unfortunately, as you can tell, my gloves and boots are not where I want them to be, but I've spent hours farming for them and they just don't want to put out. So let's focus on the mods on the pieces that I do have equipped. Fire Tsunami on the helmet of the Acari is huge. It increases the width of the firewall, therefore you're hitting more targets, and you're going to get yourself more targets hit for that 50% anomaly power bonus. It's just going to be easier to do, the thicker the better, and that's what Fire Tsunami does. I went ahead and put on Burnt Out as well, where damaged enemies take 25% more damage for 8 seconds. I believe this is stackable, so it's a great perk. It's not necessarily needed, but because we're focusing on Heat Wave instead of kind of, you know, a combination or anything like Eruption, I definitely like having Burnout on this. Not necessary, but it's up to you. Ride the Wave and Tidal Wave are on the chest piece for me. Again, both of them just grant me additional heat waves. This is more spam, more uptime, more anomaly power, more damage and killing power. Anomaly Echo comes naturally on the pants, which is a wonderful thing. You get an additional anomaly thing. This should honestly keep permanent uptime as well. I put on Branded for Thermal Bomb, doing an additional 40% damage when it explodes. When you get more comfortable with Thermal Bomb, this is an absolute asset. You can double stack and get up to 80% if you have 2 of the Thermal Bombs active, and that's exactly what we do. Going down to the gloves, again, not ideally rolled. I'm missing status power. Healing received does nothing for me. But Pants on Fire is obviously not something I naturally want to be on there. It's not a bad perk if you have Overheat or you're going for an Overheat build, which this absolutely is possible with an Acari set. But it's not a terrible perk either. I would have loved a better option there, but Fire Frenzy is something that I need, so I get an additional Thermal Bomb so that I can stack that Branded. And then boots, finally, I have emergency stance, which is our survivability. Right now, it's currently bugged. It's an amazing perk. Pretty much keeps you alive through anything. A much better roll than my gloves, and I have stand tall on it, which is nothing to look down on. Again, you're going to be keeping up that 9,000 anomaly power just by being out in the open because, well, we're a pyro, we have good survivability, and that is what it is. So what do I think about this set? I think this set is great for solos, but it really shines in groups. It may not have the clearing potential that like a Blighted Round guy will, but it fits a certain area and playstyle. And certain maps where they clump up, I can keep up with a very high rolled sort of Technomancer on a Blighted build because they group up, I do a lot of damage, and I think it's absolutely amazing. But this can be done solo. The only thing that I've not been able to do solo in the expeditions on T15 is Boomtown. I get the clears, I can do it generally safely and confidently, I just don't have the speed and pace to do it. But keep in mind, this build has a lot of room for improvement. Possibly in the future with better rolls and obviously maximized attributes, I could probably be capable of getting fairly close to it. And again, I think Eruption variants or something like that, or even an Overheat variant, could definitely do Boomtown in probably sub 5-minute runs, actually. So there's room for improvement depending on how you want to build around the Acari build. And that's what makes it so nice is no matter what you do on Pyro, this build can be used for pretty much any ability. And that's what makes it unique. A lot of other ones have like a set style. This one opens up possibilities to any actual ability on the Pyro that you prefer to use, or any combination of a couple of them. So that is my recommendation. Definitely invest in the Acari set. The moment you get the helmet, the chest, and the pants, opportunities and builds open up to you until you can find the perfect epic rolls. And even then, I mean, the Heatwave granting 50% anomaly power bonus, that's huge. Like, that really gets your numbers up there. So that is what it is, guys. That is the video. Continue to enjoy the gameplay in the background. Watch us wrap this thing up. But that is what I think about the Acari set. It's one of the best legendary sets in the game, arguably the best. And it has an absolute wonderful place. And as soon as you get this, it'll open up anomaly builds for any pyro direction you want to take it. Thanks again for all the love. Leave a like if you can. It helps out tremendously. If you have any other suggestions or any ways that you would improve this build, put them down in the comment section below. Thanks again for all the love, guys. Enjoy.
About those energy spikes? The insurgents had a functioning power cell down here.
What did you do with it?
It's disabled. I'll see if Zahid can take a look at it. I found a pod down